Welcome back to Basement Integrity Podcast by Icerino. If you tuned into our last deep dive, you heard Built to Withstand, Toronto's Guide to Flood-Resilient Homes.
Yeah.
Today we're diving into a crucial topic for homeowners, thinking about making their basements more livable or dealing with foundation concerns.
Right.
Choosing the right time for basement underpinning?
Yeah.
We'll be drawing from our recent blog post, Choosing the Right Time for Basement Underpinning Icerino, for you, our listener, who's keen on gaining knowledge quickly and thoroughly, without feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
This deep dive will provide the essential insights into when underpinning might be the right step for your home.
Exactly.
We're here at Icerino day in and day out talking to homeowners just like you about this.
Right.
So let's unpack the key considerations, highlight some aha moments, and keep it straightforward.
Absolutely. Underpinning is something we discuss with homeowners almost daily here at Icerino. Understanding when it makes the most sense to consider such a project is really key to maximizing its benefits. So let's start with the fundamental question.
Yeah.
But what exactly is basement underpinning? And why is getting the timing right so critical?
Let's unpack this. Basement underpinning at its heart is about strengthening or extending your home's foundation. Think of it like giving the very base of your house a super solid upgrade. This might be necessary if you've noticed any sinking or settling,
Right.
what we call subsidence, or even if you're planning to add more weight to your home, like building an addition down the line.
Yeah.
Now, for so many homeowners in Toronto, the basement is this untapped potential. Underpinning can be the key to unlocking that potential, transforming it from a cold storage space into a warm, functional part of your living area.
Right.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Timing isn't just about when it's convenient for you. It's absolutely crucial for the project's success. Ensuring you get the best possible return on your investment.
That's a really insightful way to frame it. And what's fascinating here at Icerino is seeing firsthand how underpinning can truly revolutionize a home. One of the immediate benefits you'll often experience is enhanced accessibility
Yeah,
to those hidden but vital systems. Can you tell our listener more about that?
absolutely. When we underpin, we're essentially exposing the lower part of your foundation. Now, that might not sound like a glamorous benefit, but it actually makes it significantly easier and potentially more affordable
Yeah.
to access and upgrade essential systems like your plumbing, electrical wiring, and even your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, your HVAC system.
Right.
Imagine trying to modernize old pipes or install new wiring in a basement with a low, cramped foundation. Underpinning can make those jobs far less complicated and costly in the long run.
Yeah.
It's like finally being able to easily reach the engine of your car for maintenance
Right.
instead of having to contort yourself into awkward positions.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, that improved access we provide translates to a more modern and efficient home for you overall. Beyond that, one of the most immediately noticeable and rewarding transformations after underpinning is the increase in ceiling height.
Oh, that's a game changer, no doubt.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, nobody enjoys a basement where you feel like you have to duck just to walk around.
Yeah.
On underpinning, we can significantly increase that ceiling height, and suddenly, that once dismal space feels bright, airy, and inviting. It's no longer just a place to stash holiday decorations. It becomes a genuinely usable area, perfect for a home theater,
Yeah.
where you can actually stretch out a comfortable guest bedroom, a spacious playroom for the kids. The possibilities really open up, adding a whole new dimension to your home, where you don't have to hunch over.
They truly do. And it's not solely about aesthetics. There's a vital structural benefit we address. It's underpinning by tackling any underlying foundation issues.
Exactly. We're talking about protecting your biggest investment here. By addressing those foundational concerns proactively, you're not only preventing potentially costly repairs down the line, which can be a real headache and expense,
Right.
but also significantly increasing your property's market value. A solid, stable foundation is a huge selling point for any potential buyer.
And when you compare it with other methods of expanding your living space, underpinning often emerges as a surprisingly cost-effective solution.
It really is. Think about the disruption and sheer expense of adding an entirely new addition onto your home. Underpinning allows you to maximize the existing footprint of your property, often without the same level of upheaval to your daily life.
Yeah.
So with all these benefits in mind, what are the real indicators for you, our listener, that it might be the right time to start considering underpinning?
That raises a really important question. The optimal timing often hinges on a few key considerations, first and foremost. And something we always stress at Icerino
Right.
is assessing the structural necessity of your foundation.
This isn't something you want to take a guess at or put off. The crucial first step is always to get a professional evaluation. That's a big part of what we do here at Icerino. It's like a thorough health check for your foundation,
Right.
where we look for any hidden issues, like that subsidings we mentioned, that sinking or movement, water damage, or perhaps the original foundation just wasn't built with adequate support for the current or planned use of the house.
And this evaluation is so critical
Yeah.
because it allows us to tailor the underpinning approach specifically to your home. The extent of work needed can vary quite a bit from one house to another, even in the same neighborhood. We carefully assess the age of your building, any past renovations that might have inadvertently impacted the foundation, and of course, any visible signs of structural stress.
Exactly. Things like noticeable cracks in the walls, especially if they're widening, uneven floors that make a marble roll across the room, or doors and windows that stick, can all be telltale signs that it's time to have a serious look at the foundation. Now, beyond addressing existing problems, underpinning is also a fantastic strategic move when you're planning any significant home improvements or an expansion of your living space.
Absolutely. If you're dreaming of finally finishing your basement and turning it into a proper living area, a home gym where you can really work out, or even just creating a more open and modern layout, underpinning should definitely be part of that initial planning phase. You need to ensure that the foundation can safely support any added weight, from new walls, flooring, or even just the increased use of the space. Think of it like making sure the base of a bookshelf is strong enough before you load it up with heavy books.
It just makes practical sense to integrate underpinning early in your renovation plans. Trying to add structural support after you've already invested in finishing the basement can be much more complicated, costly, and frankly, a bigger headache.
Yeah.
It's like building a strong base for a tower before you start adding all of the upper levels.
That's a perfect analogy. And speaking of planning, we can't emphasize enough the importance for you to be aware of local building codes.
Oh, absolutely. And zoning requirements. If you're considering underpinning, these regulations are in place for good reasons, ensuring safety, considering environmental factors, and maintaining community standards. And it's important to remember that these rules aren't static. They can change over time. So before we even think about starting any work, it's essential to check with the local authorities, or even better, have us handle that as part of our process here at Icerino. We stay up to date on all the necessary permits and the specific requirements in the Toronto area.
Compliance is absolutely key. Ignoring these regulations can lead to significant issues down the line for you. Project delays, unexpected fines, and even having to undo completed work. It's always best to ensure you're doing things correctly from the very beginning. Then there are the seasonal considerations.
Ah, yes. For undertaking a project like this.
Right.
Mother Nature definitely has a say in these kinds of projects, especially when you're dealing with the ground. Different seasons can present different challenges for excavation and foundation work. Winter in Toronto with frozen ground and potential snowstorms can certainly make things more difficult and potentially increase the overall timeline and costs.
Whereas the drier months, typically spring through early fall, tend to be more ideal for this type of work. The ground is generally more stable and easier to excavate, which can make the whole process smoother and more efficient for you. Strategically planning your project with the seasons in mind can definitely save you both time and money.
Definitely something important for you to factor into your decision-making. And finally, beyond just your immediate repair or renovation needs, consider anticipating your future needs as well.
That's a really insightful point.
Yeah.
As your family situation evolves or your lifestyle changes, what might you need from your home in the years to come? Could you potentially want to add another story to your house at some point?
Right.
Are you thinking about incorporating sustainable energy solutions? That might add weight to the structure.
Yeah.
Or require adjustments to the foundation?
Underpinning isn't just a solution for current problems. It can be a smart, long-term investment in the overall flexibility and resilience of your home, preparing it for whatever the future might hold for you and your family. Now, we briefly mentioned an alternative to underpinning earlier, benching. Can you tell our listener a little more about that?
Benching is indeed another approach we sometimes consider in specific, less extensive situations. Instead of fully excavating and lowering the basement floor, we essentially create a slightly higher new floor level with a surrounding ledge, or bench.
Interesting. This can provide a modest increase in usable space without the same level of intensive foundation work as traditional underpinning. It really depends on the specific needs of your property and the extent of the foundation issues, if any.
So it's another tool in our toolbox here at Icerino. But for more significant foundational concerns, or when your goal is to maximize your basement space. With full ceiling height, underpinning is often the more comprehensive and effective solution for you.
Now, you touched on it earlier, but can you reiterate the importance of choosing the right underpinning company for this kind of significant project?
Absolutely crucial. An underpinning project is a substantial undertaking, and its success relies heavily on the expertise and reliability of the contractor you choose to work with.
Right. You really want a company with a long and proven track record
Yeah.
of successful underpinning projects. At Icerino, we've been specializing in this kind of work for years, and we always advise homeowners like you to thoroughly research a company's portfolio of completed underpinning projects. Make sure they have all the necessary licenses and comprehensive insurance coverage. That protects everyone involved. And of course, take the time to check their reputation. Online reviews and testimonials from previous clients can give you a very good sense of their professionalism and the overall quality of their workmanship.
An experienced and reputable underpinning company like ours won't just carry out the physical work.
Exactly. We also provide valuable guidance and support throughout the entire process, from the initial assessment and planning stages, right through to the final completion of the project. We pride ourselves on that comprehensive approach here at Icerino. We're here to help you understand the best course of action, tailored to your specific home and needs. So what's the key takeaway message you want our listeners to remember from our deep dive today?
The most important thing for you to remember is that basement underpinning is a strategic investment in your home's future. It offers both immediate, tangible benefits, like significantly enhanced living space and increased ceiling height, as well as crucial long-term advantages, such as improved structural integrity and the potential for a considerable increase in your property's overall value.
And the key to successfully unlocking those benefits for your home is choosing the right time to undertake your project and selecting a reputable and experienced company like Icerino. To handle the work for you, we strongly encourage everyone listening to do their due diligence, research their options, and consult with qualified professionals to determine the best approach for their individual property.
And if you're a homeowner in the Toronto area and you're considering basement underpinning, we're here to help. You can easily reach out to us at Icerino today at 647-454-6600 to schedule a free, no-obligation consultation to discuss your specific basement needs and concerns. We're always happy to answer any questions you might have and help you determine if underpinning is the right solution for your home and when the optimal time to proceed might be.
We hope this deep dive into the optimal timing for basement underpinning has provided you with valuable insights and greater clarity. Remember, being well-informed empowers you to make the best decisions for your home's long-term well-being and value. For more detailed information, and to explore exactly how underpinning could benefit your specific situation, we encourage you to visit our website at Icerino and read the full blog post, Choosing the Right Time for Basement Underpinning. Here's a final thought for you to consider as you think about your home's potential. How might proactively addressing its foundation today unlock possibilities and create a more comfortable and valuable living space than you've even imagined? Thank you for joining us for this informative deep dive by Icerino. Tune in next time for more essential insights on maintaining and improving your home's integrity.